Hi there, this is Mr. Jones, and I'd like to help you today with comparing unit rates. Now remember, a rate is a ratio that compares quantities measured in different units. For example, miles per gallon, miles per hour, feet per second, and so on. A unit rate is the rate for one unit of a given quantity. So for example, 100 miles per 4 hours is a rate. But a unit rate would be the number of miles traveled in 1 hour. Okay, so if you divide 4 into 100, that gives you 25 miles per 1 hour. Okay, and that's the unit rate. Alright, so when you're comparing rates, you need to make sure that you're using the same units for each rate. In other words, miles per hour can't be equated to feet per second. One of the sets of units would have to be converted so that it's in the same units as the other. And you need to convert each of the rates into a unit rate. Okay? Let's look at an example. Suppose Kirsten drove her car 227 miles, and then she filled up and it took her 9 gallons of gas to drive that distance. On the other hand, David drove his car 335 miles, and it took him 11 gallons of gas. And they want to know which car gets better gas mileage. Okay, well, notice you can find the rate 227 miles over 9 gallons, and David's rate would be 335 miles for 11 gallons. Okay, that's a rate. But I can't look at those fractions and determine which one of those is a larger rate or a better gas mileage. Okay, so what I need to do is convert each one into a unit rate, which means I'm going to need to divide the denominator into the numerator. So 227 divided by 9, and that gives me about 25 miles per gallon. We'll round it to the nearest whole mile per gallon. 25.22 continuing, but so 25 miles per gallon. That's a unit rate because it's the number of miles on 1 gallon of gas. Okay? And that's Kirsten's car. 335 divided by 11 gallons gives me David's rate, and that is 30.45. So roughly 30.5 miles per gallon. Okay, so particularly in this day and age of high gas prices, right, you probably want to ride with David if you're going to have to split the cost of the gas. Okay. All right. Well, how about cost? That's another way. Look at a 6-pack of diet soda costs $3.59 at one store, and that sounds like a fair price to you. But a 12-pack of the same soda costs $5.88 at a second store, and you want to know which one is the better cost per can of soda. Okay, so you can set them up as a rate and then convert them into a unit rate, and that way you can compare. And the unit rate is going to be simply the cost for 1 can of soda. All right, so why don't you go ahead and tackle that one on your own. I'll take a short break, and then when you're ready, just hit continue, and that will call me right back. Okay, well, let's see. I think I've already done this work here. Let's see if I saved it in the right place. Oh, yes, I did. How's that? All right, well, let's say store A, $3.59 for 6 cans. That's the rate. Store B, over here, has a rate of $5.88 for 12 cans. Okay, but if you convert to a unit rate, you divide 6 into 359. That gives you 0.598 or 59.8 cents. So I rounded that to the nearest whole penny. Can't pay 0.8 pennies. So 60 cents per can at store A. At store B, 12 divides into 588, 49.49 times. So that's 49 cents per can. So if you go to store B and buy a pack of 12 diet sodas, you're going to save almost 11 cents per soda. Well, not too bad, particularly if you're having a number of guests over. All right, so that should give you an idea then of not only how to find a rate, but how to convert it to a unit rate and then compare. Okay? So I urge you to work carefully and work well.